Good morning, Tamaki Makoro. It's a brand new day in the city of sail. You got the perfect playlist to get you through the morning.
The next stop is Waipapa Taumataro.
With the Faculty of Engineering and Design, we have the design program, we have the engineering aspect, and then we have the part that my colleagues and I run for architecture and urban planning. And just a little bit about the school. The school is 108 years old. We have 3 disciplines: architecture, urban planning and urban design. Urban design is taught at a postgraduate level, and we'll pick that up towards the end. But we're the #1 school in New Zealand, and in terms of urban planning, we've been teaching that for nearly 70 years, and urban design for 20. So we're the only school that brings all of those disciplines together, and we use the same sort of teaching models, which I'll talk about. In terms of our undergraduate programs, obviously in terms of the school, we offer a Bachelor of Architecture Studies. It's a 5-year program, and we'll talk about the final part of that, which is the Masters of Architecture Professional, which is the accredited part of architecture, so it's 5 years. So the facilities we have, and you saw some of those in the video, we're very, very lucky in the way the school's constructed. We have workshops, and that's one of the great advantages of now joining with engineering. We have all the other facilities that the engineers have, which is way beyond what we have. We have multidisciplinary learning spaces, studios and workshops, unleashed space, and we have a lot of world-class research centres. In terms of the study spaces, the studio is at the heart of what the school is. So all our courses are studio-based or design-based, whether you're in urban planning or architecture. They become your home base for the year, and you have access to those spaces from 7:30 in the morning to 11 o'clock at night. And we teach in those spaces, but that's your home base, and they're based by year groups. They have little kitchens in them, and the students just hang out there and do all their sort of work in those types of spaces. So it's really, really important. That's what we are. We're a design-based school. And obviously, as Saul talked about some of the ideas, we do lectures. We do 50% of our courses are lectured, and as I say, 50% are studio design based. Really important aspect of what we are. And for the classes, we break them down, the lecture-based classes, we break them down into tutorial streams, or in terms of our studio streams, we usually have a ratio about 1:18 to 1:20 staff ratio in terms of how our studios actually work. And I say, that's what we are, and it's a really integral part of who we are as a school. So what is architecture? It's really interesting if you think about the different aspects of the built environment and you think about the different spatial scales that you want to work at. Architecture is sort of where you have a direct relationship with the object. You're involved in constructing the built form, if you like. So constructing this building here, and obviously there's a lot of other people involved in this process, but you're looking at how do we design this building? What are the things that go into those types of things? So there's a lot of creativity. If you just think about what we call this room, which is the Neon Theatre, just think about the construction that's gone on, the thinking that's gone into designing this sort of space. If that's what you're interested in, this is what architecture is about. Innovation, innovative solutions for things. Really, really important as we go forward in terms of impact of technology. We need to start thinking about the aspects of sustainability, social justice, all of those types of things are integral parts of what we want to teach as a school. We want to have the next generation of leaders in our disciplines who are looking at dealing with these global challenges we're facing, whether it's in architecture or it's in urban planning. And so dealing with sustainability and technological solutions to some of the critical problems we face is actually critical and at the heart of what we want to do here as a school. We're, as I say, a design-based school, but we want to create leaders to solve some of these problems. And as I said, sustainability, social issues. Who's the building for? How are we doing these things? Who's benefiting from all these types of responses is critical to our underlying thinking. And so in terms of architecture, as I say, the first 3 years is a Bachelor of Architecture Studies, where we start and explore on the concepts of basic design thinking, and we deal with the technological aspects that go with this type of thing. So we build up your thinking as a designer using design iterative thinking. We build it up through the 3 years, and when we move to the final part, which is the master's part, the Master's of Architecture Professional, we then allow you to explore at a higher design level, but also to do a 120-point thesis or a whole year thesis to explore a proposition within a design space.
If you're interested in like the Bachelor of Architectural Studies, we do require a portfolio as well, alongside meeting the entry requirements. Some of you may be from different kind of educational backgrounds, so some of you may have done some prior tertiary education before. In that case, we do look for a grade point equivalent of 4.7 for the Bachelor of Architectural Studies. So the portfolio submission is generally 12 to 15 pages of your own creative work. It's a time for you to be able to put into a visual kind of presentation of what you're interested in, showing different kind of mixed medias and your interests in architecture. So it's just basically your chance to kind of show us why you're interested in architecture. So some of the career pathways, which Lee has already covered off a wee bit, is that generally the Bachelor of Architectural Studies follows on into the Master's. So it's 5 years in total if you wish to become a registered architect. So it'd be 3 years in the Bachelor of Architectural Studies and then 2 years in the Master of Architectural Professional. The good thing about if you do your BAS with us is that you'll do the 3 years and it's just a nice smooth entry into the Master of Architecture as long as you obtain the grade point average by the end of the 3 years in the BAS of 4. You do not need to submit another portfolio, which is always just nice, a nice smooth transition. Yeah, or you could also go in for the Master of Urban Design if you wish to follow some further study. We also have combined masters, which is also another way if you're finishing the Bachelor of Architectural Studies. You may wish to go into one of our combined masters where you can do the courses from 2 master's degree together, and you can still reach the registration for the Master of Architecture Professional, but alongside the Master of Urban Planning Professional as well. So that's another option as well if you want at the end of the bachelor's.
And I'm just here to give you a bit of insight into what student life is like here at the University of Auckland. So if you do choose to undertake further study here at the University of Auckland, this is the kind of environment you might find yourself in. So that huge sort of rectangular building and its neighbouring buildings are the main buildings for the Faculty of Engineering and Design City Campus. These are located very close to the Auckland Domain and the main city centre. As well as that, it's just a 2-minute short walk from the other facilities of the university, such as the university's general library, the student hubs, and last but not least, our new world-class rec centre, which in my opinion is unreal. It has all the facilities you can think of, ranging from swimming pools, spas, rooftop football pitch. As well as that, it's also situated very close to Albert Park and the Auckland Art Gallery. So yeah, a really nice environment for students to explore in between classes. So for those that are interested in staying a little bit closer to the university, there are plenty of accommodation options out there available. The ones on the slide that are listed, these are more applicable to first-year students. So I myself, during my first year, stayed in Waipururu Halls. It was one of the best experiences of my life, and I'd made plenty of my lifelong friends there. It's a very supportive community, And if you are interested, I do strongly urge you to take a look at our UOA website for more information about the costs and application procedures. These accommodation options are a very short walk from the main Faculty of Engineering and Design building. So yeah, it's very conveniently placed, and I would highly recommend. As well as that, there are several global learning opportunities that the university offers. So this is 360 International. So essentially what it is that they allow students to explore international learning opportunities through perhaps internships, semester-long or full-year-long exchanges, and other sorts of programs like that. And yeah, it's just a great way to immerse yourself in other cultures and get a feel of what it's like to study abroad. Last but not least, there are the student clubs. So this is an integral part of the university student life. There are plenty of options out there, and honestly, there's a club for everyone. It's just such a great way to enhance your university experience and expand your network, not just within the faculty, but also within the wider university community. So it's an opportunity to engage with like-minded individuals and kind of also take a step back from just your studies and explore interests beyond this. There are plenty of options out there, and just to name a few, there is the Developer Society, so for those who are interested in video game development, Photography Society, UOA VR Club for anyone interested in all things VR, and the University of Auckland User Group for those who are interested in exploring the limits of Linux. And there are plenty more options out there, like I said. There are also various associations, one key one being Students of Urban Planning and Architecture, or SUPA for short, that provide valuable support and networking opportunities with industry professionals just to help kickstart your professional and academic journey.
Kia ora, I'm Henry, and this is my day in life as a third-year architecture student studying at the University of Auckland. After getting bus to the campus, I quickly get inside to the studio where I see my friends and began a little study session before class starts, where I'm currently working on a competition project with my friends. I then get into the workshop to create some quick study models of the roof structure that we are doing. I really love doing models in the workshop as it makes things a lot more fun. Then I headed to the tech lecture where I'm learning about the building sustainability and material study. At lunchtime, I like to go to Union Food Court to grab some food and then quickly head back to the studio to work more on a design model before class starts. In the afternoon, we headed to our design session. We are currently learning about the kinetic and interactive architecture design, which is involving doing a little bit of soldering to the model in the DRH office right now. In the evening, I like to go to the gym for a quick workout session before I hang out with my friend for dinner to end the day. And this is my day in life.
Really important, so there are a lot of range of scholarships you can apply to come through to the school. Obviously, we have a lot of Maori scholarships, and we've worked very hard as a school to increase our Maori and Pacifica and to reflect the diversity of New Zealand society. So there's a range of top achiever scholarships, Maori and Pacifica scholarships, and there's also a lot of scholarships for women. In fact, if you go onto the scholarships page, you'll find them. There's quite a lot you can actually apply for to help your financial studies. We also have them at postgraduate level and PhD level as well. So there's a lot of scholarships the school and the university actually offers you to study. Tuakana program, that's an integral part of what we're trying to achieve, to again dedicate to Maori and Pacific to help them in their educational journey with us as a school, where you have mentors and staff there to support you through the academic experience, because it can be a little bit daunting. So they're there to help you. We have dedicated spaces inside the building for you to use as well. Employment and support, there is a whole range of employment support the university offers. Also, as I sort of alluded to before, especially in urban planning and in architecture, a lot of students get jobs before they do complete their degrees. And other large consultancy companies also provide internship opportunities, both in urban planning and architecture. And we also have, as I say, the university system that's provided there. When I was talking about the studios being the heart of our school, and the student that was talking about that there, in those sessions, we have crit sessions where we look at your work and we bring in professionals from around industry, and they come in and see you and engage with you. And it's a really good opportunity for them to see which type of students they'd like to employ in their practices. And it's quite an important part. Because while we have 43 academic staff in the school, we have about 100 professional people that come in and support the school and help deliver it, and that's the integral part of what we are as a school. So a whole range of employment type of opportunities that comes with that. If you're interested in further studies, as I said to you, Masters Architecture Professional, you have to do that to be a registered architect. As Hannah talked about, combined master's degrees. You do the BAS, and then you've got the range of doing urban design and urban planning. And about 50% of the students take up that option. And we're the only school in all of Australia and New Zealand that offers that option. So it's a really strong thing. So, to be honest, why would you want to study at the school? If you're interested, as I said at the beginning, any measure, the University of Auckland is the best university in New Zealand. It's the only university ranked in the top 100. We're in the QS ranking system. It's 153 in the Times system. And again, I've been really lucky in my career. I actually still work in practice. I came from practice. I've only been at the university for 15 years. But I've had the opportunity, because I was a graduate of this school, to study at Harvard, Sydney and London. And that came from the ability that I studied at a world-class university. We're the biggest and the oldest architecture school in New Zealand. And as I say, we really dominate the planning market in New Zealand. So really important to us around our traditions that we have with us. Also the state-of-the-art facilities. The student was talking about there, going down to the workshops. Integral part of what we sort of do as part of that studio environment. But because we have so many staff and so many tutors, you get some very, very collegial type of space. There's a lot of support. In those studio environments, you're running a studio ratio about 1 to 18 or 1 to 20. And most of the times, that's actually a professional coming in to help us teach. And you have the academic running the program, dealing with the academic aspect, but we have those professional people coming out and helping us, which gives you a strong sense of engagement.
I just remember from like the first week of the first year, that was a question that a bunch of people were asked and stuff, like, oh, like how did you all get here? I've always just like making things ever since I was a wee lad, I can say. If I went to the library, I'd always go to the like arts and crafts section. It's just whatever caught my eye. I've always I guess working with my hands in that type of way. It blew my mind about like, oh, this is something that you can do in architecture. Like it's so many different things. There were some things that were like animation and almost like set design, and it looks so cool. And there were also community projects and like other visionary ones, and all just being made by people that were doing architecture. So like we'd help with the planning and the design of like a building or a project, but it's not always necessarily just a building. It is in a way like reshaping all the spaces around us and how people are able to interact with one another. My idea of it beforehand was quite restricted. I was like, oh yeah, we're probably just like, it's a building, that's it. But then it's like, wow, it's so many different things, yeah. you.